Hi guys, this is Rich with Wild Wonderful Weekends, and I want to tell you about the new version of the tool that I use to price all of my drone work. All I have to do is plug in a few mission details, and in seconds I get an itemized, accurate quote that I can hand to my client. But that isn't all it does. It also lets me know which pieces of equipment are most profitable in my inventory and which projects are also earning me the most money. It also lets me know how much money I should be putting back for equipment turnover to keep up with advancing technology, other operational costs like insurance and advertisement. I've been using this tool in earlier versions for years, and it's always kept me profitable and competitive. And the best thing is it's inexpensive, and the new version runs inside Microsoft Excel. So let me show you how it works, and then we'll take a deeper dive in how you can configure it to your own operation. This is where we plug in our mission information to generate the quote. And if you're familiar with the previous versions of this tool, there will be virtually zero learning curve. There are now a few more spaces for equipment, and there's also a cell to enter any tax that you're required to charge. All right, so let's see how quickly I can generate a quote without even rushing through it. And in this scenario, I've already spoken with my client. I've researched the work site on Google Maps or Google Earth to get enough information for my proposal. And my client knows what the deliverables of this mission will be. Also, very importantly, I already have the tool configured to my business, which I'll show you how to do in just a bit. Okay, let's do it. So because the area is kind of large, I know I'm going to use one visual observer. I'm going to be the operator, so there's no need for an extra operator here. I'm going to be using my DJI Mavic 4 Pro and my Insta360 X5. The software I'm going to use to edit the pictures is going to be Luminar Neo and Panoe to create the virtual tour. Mission planning is going to take about an hour and a half. Mission execution is going to take about 2 hours, and it's going to take another 2 hours, we'll say, to process the images and create that virtual tour. Thanks to Google Maps, I know I'm about 7 miles away from the work site. It's close enough and it's short enough that I'm not going to need to buy any food while I'm out or get any lodging, and this mission won't require any special insurance. The state I live in doesn't require me to charge any tax on this kind of service, but we'll go ahead and say 6% here, entered as a whole number so you can see the way it works. And that's it. So as you see here, my total amount to charge is $334.62. And if I click the quote sheet tab, I've got a nice printable itemized quote sheet that I can hand to my client or email them. And it lists everything that they're going to receive as deliverables. It lets them know the cost of the flight crew, equipment that I'm going to use, and other costs like mileage and software, with of course the total right here at the bottom. So now let's go back over to pricing. We're going to take a look at the way this is all broken down, and then I'm going to show you the way that this information got onto this sheet to begin with by populating things about my business like my business costs and my rate sheet. One of the things you may have noticed is that everything on the pricing page is grouped and color-coded. So on the far left here we have the section concerning mission, crew, hardware, and software. And at the top we have the light purple section for visual observer and operator. That of course is our flight crew. The light green section has any equipment that we might use or hardware on a job. And the light blue section at the bottom is for software that we may use in post-processing. And all of the items in these lists are going to be populated when we configure the tool to our own operations. So obviously I have a DJI Mavic 4 Pro, a Matrice 4T, but you may have completely different equipment, and it would show up here once you configure the tool for yourself. Then in the middle of the page we have a light orange or peach section for mission time and expenses. And in the middle bottom we have the mission profitability, and we'll go over all of these in some more detail in just a second. But another thing I want to point out is that only the white cells are the cells that you're going to directly enter information into. All of the color-coded cells use formula, so you don't want to change those. They're either calculated or reference data on other sheets. So now let's take a little time and fill this out. So let's say we had a mission that was at a relatively small location and we didn't need a visual observer. I can delete that, and the cost is going to update in real time here, and so are all of our summaries. We could just as easily say that we're at a very large location and maybe we need 2 visual observers. And what it's taking into consideration are the rates that we chose to pay our visual observers when we configure the tool. It assumes that the pilot in command is always the primary operator, but if we need a secondary operator, we can put a number in here. for one operator or two or however many that we need. When it comes to equipment, I handle it just like a heavy equipment rental company would. I use a very standard formula to calculate how much we should charge by the hour for each piece of equipment that the customer essentially rents. So let's say I was doing a virtual tour of a very large warehouse, and I was going to need the use of two Insta360 X5s. Instead of just putting a 1 here, I would put a 2. And it's going to calculate that rental based on how many hours the mission execution is. So right now we have our mission execution at 2 hours, but if I was to reduce that to 1, you see it updates the total here and all of the other summary totals. So it's all very dynamic, and it's all kind of interdependent on the information that we give it when we configure the tool and the information that we put into the pricing sheet here. So let's do one more and we'll just walk through it slowly. So let's say I'm on a relatively standard job. I want one visual observer. I don't need any secondary operators. I'm going to be using the Mavic 4 Pro, and that's all I'll need. We'll say this is going to be like a commercial real estate gig. Down in the software section, I won't need Pix4D. I won't need Drone Deploy. I will use Luminar Neo to edit some of the photos, but I won't be doing any virtual tours, so I don't need that software as well. Now it subtotals everything for mission crew, hardware, and software at $61.75. Next up in the planning phase, again, it's a pretty straightforward mission. We'll say we spend 1 hour planning this mission. That might be looking on Google Maps, Google Earth, trying to figure out what our obstacles might be in the way, what the terrain looks like, checking airspace requirements, things like that. Mission execution, we'll say it's going to be about half an hour. It's a very simple flight. Processing again may take only an hour. We'll say it's 10 miles from where I live. And we'll say I might grab lunch out there. We'll say that comes up to $10. I won't need lodging, and I don't need any special insurance. So mission time and expenses total at $94. And again, we'll say that we charge 6% sales tax, so I'll just leave that alone. The total amount that I should charge my customer then is going to be $137.67. The depreciable asset split, which is what I need to reinvest into my equipment and my business, is going to come to $29 roughly. Based on how often and how expensive advertisement is for my company, I need to split off $1.60. And to cover my annual insurance, I should split off 64 cents. And again, I'm going to show you how we come to those figures in just a minute. My net profit after these mission expenses and the split outs that I have calculated here is only $64.63. So that's very important to know. A lot of people don't take into consideration what they need to split out and to reinvest in their business. And so they may think that they're making a decent amount of money when in reality they aren't making quite as much as they think they are. And that's a good indicator that you may need to increase your rates, which I'll show you how to do in just a second. The dollars per hour equivalent I would be earning based on how long it's going to take to plan, execute, process, and travel to and from this job site would only be $22.57. Again, good information to have. It can kind of help guide your business in the way you price things. Now, as I'm updating this sheet, the quote is going to be updating in real time. So there's my ultimate price that I should charge the client. It breaks down planning, time on site, and data processing times and cost, the flight crew that I'm going to use and what those costs are, what equipment I'm going to use and what those costs are, and software and other expenses. So these are all good things to give your client because it builds trust. If they know exactly where the money they're paying is going to, and they see that there is a method to it, they don't feel like you're just charging them some exorbitant fee. You also see here that the customer details are saved, and as well as the deliverables, and those are populated here on the pricing sheet as well. Okay, but how do we configure this tool to get these quotes so quickly and to make sure that they're accurate and that we're profitable? To do that, we're going to start in the worksheet called Business Costs. And just like on the previous worksheet and all throughout this workbook, we'll only enter information in white cells. We don't want to enter information into color-coded cells because those either have values that are used as references later, like titles, or calculations that reference data in other sheets. But the first thing we enter on this workbook are our depreciable assets. So there's my DJI Mavic 4 Pro, and this is what I have in it. That's drone, batteries, carrying case, things like that. And I just do that for each piece of equipment that I use in my fleet. So there's my Matrice 4T, my Insta360 X5, my KUCAM Ultra, and the gimbal that I sometimes use. All equipment and hardware that we use will eventually wear out, require maintenance, or replaced outright. And so they are depreciable assets. They are depreciating all the time. The longer we hang on to those assets, the less valuable they become, and the further technology moves along. And when it comes to drone technology, it moves really fast. So I found for my company that I like to use a target reinvestment time of 3 years. That means in every 3 years, the drone tech moves far enough along that I start considering buying a new drone or a new piece of equipment to keep up. If I don't, my competitors start to be able to offer things that I can't. So even though the hardware itself may last much longer than 3 years, if I want to be able to offer my clients the latest that the technology can offer, I need to think about keeping up. Now, you don't have to say you want to do a target reinvestment in 3 years. You could do 5. And if you enter 5 there, you see that this changed to a 5-year return on investment target at 3 missions per week. Let's say you don't want to do 3 missions per week. You want to do 5. I could enter 5 here, and that calculation updates as well. Now we have a 5-year return on investment target of 5 missions per week. If that's the case, to support this kind of fleet as it is right now, I would need to split off $10.44 from every mission I fly in order to meet this return on investment and be able to reinvest in my equipment. And again, as you're entering your equipment, you can play around with these numbers and you can find what fits you best. The most important thing, though, is that once you figure that out, this tool makes it really easy to generate your quotes without having to think about it or reconsider all these things every time. Okay, so then we can move down to the advertisement section, and I usually spend roughly $200 to $250 a year in advertisement. That being the case, for the number of missions that I said I want to perform a week, I need to split off $1.60 per every mission that I fly. And then finally, we come down to insurance, and it's the same thing. Whatever your cost for insurance is in a year, based on how many missions you want to fly in a week, for my case, it would be 64 cents that I need to put back from every mission. So now let's go look at the rate sheet. This is usually the one that you need to play with a little more because your business costs are what they are. Technology's pace is what it is. And how many missions a week you can fly, well, you'll probably refine that as you go, but you might already have a decent idea about what you can expect to fly. So once these numbers are plugged in, the calculations are just true. They simply reflect the reality of your situation. With the rate sheet, it can be a little more flexible. You might be able to get away with paying your visual observers $25 an hour instead of $28. And that affects the calculations in the final quote. The way I have this example set up is for mission planning. That's checking airspace authorization, doing a virtual site survey through Google Earth or Google Maps, and then actually planning the way that I'm going to fly the mission. I charge $25 an hour. These aren't my actual company's real numbers, but they're pretty close and they're a good example. Then for mission execution, that's actual site survey once that I actually go to the work site. Any mission tuning that I have to do based on the terrain and obstacles that didn't show up on Google Earth or Google Maps. Flying and actually capturing the data or shooting inside with Insta360 or an SLR. Confirming that I have all of the data captured before I leave the site. For that, I charge $40 an hour. And then finally, data processing, which is to create the data products, whether they be maps, progression movies, edited video, or edited photos. For that, $25 an hour. Here for Visual Observer, we're going to enter whatever we would pay them per hour. And then if we have to use a second operator, what we would pay them or what we pay ourselves for the actual mission flight. Then this list populates from the business cost worksheet that we just populated a while ago, and it applies a standard formula that's often used in heavy equipment rental to figure out what the hourly charge would be for that piece of equipment based on its cost and value. And again, this is by the hour, so this would be an hourly charge for each piece of equipment listed here. The software is kind of a manual calculation. I just look at what the monthly charge is for any of these and figure out, okay, what would I charge a client to use that software on their mission? Some software allows you a pay-as-you-go model. Most don't. Most require a monthly subscription or an annual subscription. So I'll be honest, here I just kind of found what seems to work for me. Mileage is standard. You can Google what the current rate is this year for mileage charges. Currently it sets at 70 cents a mile, so I've entered that there. Average speed matters in this calculation because it helps determine your equivalent hourly rate when you work. And that's it. That's configuration. Just these two sheets, business cost and rate sheet. Once you have that populated, it's going to show up on the pricing sheet, and then you can just start plugging numbers in and selecting software. I created this tool because I needed a quick, easy way to generate accurate quotes and to also help me monitor what I'm doing in my business. Which leads me to the final component of this tool, which is your data reporting. And that's going to be on your data logs sheet and your data summary graph. And the way that this works is after you create a quote like this, I can click log data. It lets me know that it's been logged. And now if I come to my data log sheet here, we see that here, this is today's dates, May 4th. I did a commercial real estate job using my DJI Mavic 4 Pro, which earned me $11.88. Now, if I delete that row and I go back to my pricing sheet, and I decided I didn't only need my Mavic Pro, I did in fact need my KuCam, and I click log data now. It lets me know it finished. Because I used two pieces of equipment, you see them both listed right there. It's the same job, same date, two different pieces of equipment, and what each earned. And as you can see, a lot of the data in here is just test data. But ultimately, everything that's on your data log ends up in your data summary tab as a part of this graph. And after you've collected data over time, this can be really handy to tell at a glance which pieces of equipment are your most profitable, as well as which type of projects are your most profitable. So right off the bat, in this graph, I could see that my Canon R5C for VR projects would be my most profitable piece of equipment, but it really only operates over two types of projects, yellow and blue. Yellow is VR experiences and blue is just test data. Over here in the upper left, we have a date slicer that lets me filter the data that's reflected in this report. I can quickly shrink or expand the date range that's reflected in the graph. So now that it's looking at May's data, we see it's picked up the DJI Mavic 4 Pro, and we got another touch of green here for my KuCam 3 Ultra VR 180, which reflects these two records that we just added. I can also shrink that date range, of course, so if I'm just interested in what happened in March, I can do that. I can also filter project types. So let's say I don't want to look at this test data because I know that it's just test data right now. So now it filters that out and we see what the real projects were. In future updates, I'm going to be adding more data logs and more graphs and summaries to kind of help manage the business aspect of things and to get more insights on where I should be focusing my money and time. And I know that's a lot to take in, even though the tool is pretty simple, and once you get used to it, it's really easy for it to become second nature. But just in case you did download this tool and you needed a refresher, you can always come here to the tutorials tab, and it's got a link back to this video to kind of walk you through all of the instructions on how to use it. But that's it, guys. I really appreciate you watching the video, and if you think this tool could help you too, there's a link in the description to my Buy Me a Coffee page, and you can pick this version up for just $19. I really believe it'll be a help to you and your business, and it's definitely a help to me and my channel, and I do appreciate it. And if you want to be kept updated whenever there's changes to this tool or new features added, don't forget to like and subscribe. Take care.